Om Agyanatamarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshmatam Hina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapatam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Didanti Sambharantakam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapatakam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakanaragunatam Vitam Tam Chijivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sakana Lalita Shri Vishavitam Cha. Everyone. Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopikanta Tapta Kanchan Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudadevi Vanchakapatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vivacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Namarum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nivashesha Sanyavari Rastrachade Satarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare. So today is the appearance day of Ramanuja Acharya. So we will have to say something about him. Ramanuja Acharya. The word sampradaya, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur has explained sampradaya. So sam means it's a spiritual connection. The word sam means correct. Sampra means superior, and daya means connection. So sampradaya means a connection to God. So we have four sampradayas. And at different times, one sampradaya may become more prominent than the other sampradayas. So we have the Sri Sampradaya. The Sri Sampradaya, and the main Acharya there is who? Ramanuja Acharya. And it's his appearance day today. So we have the Sri Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya is, brain's not working, Vishishta Advaita. I'll be asking questions later. So remember now, what did I just say? Vishishta Advaita, specified monism. So Sri Sampradaya is one. Then the Madhva Sampradaya. So we are in the Madhva Sampradaya. And the main Acharya is Madhva Acharya. Madhva Acharya in the Madhva Sampradaya. So Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, they're in this Madhva Sampradaya. And we are also, you are also. You're taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada, so you're in the Madhva. Then the third one is the Vishnu Swami. Vishnu Swami. The Rudra Sampradaya. And then the fourth one, Nimbarka. Nimbarkat. The Nimbarkas, of which Nimbarka Acharya is the main. So these four Sampradayas. So as I said, sometimes one is more prominent than the other. So the whole purpose of Sampradaya is that Guru is handing down divine knowledge to his disciple. Then disciple becomes Guru, either Diksha or Siksha, and then he hands it down to his disciple. And in that way it's passed on. Sampradaya, or if you want to use the word disciplic succession. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he is God himself, he also accepted a guru. Now, do you think he needed to accept a guru? Ladies? No, but he did. And why did he accept guru? To teach us the example. So who was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru? Ishvara Puri, that's right. And Ishvara Puri's guru was Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri's guru was Lakshmi Patitirtha. And it goes all the way back to Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma is our Sampradaya Acharya. We're coming in the line from Lord Brahma. So Ramanuja Acharya appeared in the 1200s, so 200 years before Lord Chaitanya. And prior to Ramanuja Acharya was the great Madhva Acharya. Madhva Acharya. Yeah. So they came and presented different aspects of Krishna consciousness. For instance, Ramanuja Acharya, who taught specified monism or Vishishta Advaita, specified pure devotional service and Vaishnava Seva. These two things. And then Madhva Acharya, he Shuddha Advaita, pure dualism. And he stressed on, what was it? Two things also. Slipping my mind. Defeating the Mayavadis and the worship of the deity of Krishna. That's right. And then Vishnu Swami, he presented what did he present? Anyone remember? Vishishta Advaita, Shuddha Advaita, Shuddha Dvaita, pure monism. And then Nimbarka Acharya presented monism and dualism together. Dvaita Advaita. It's all very technical. But the point I'm getting at is that Krishna consciousness is not some sentimental thing. We have in our Indian community many Hindus. So Prabhupada has referred it to as a little bit hodgepodge. You know what that word means? Hodgepodge? A little bit of hodgepodge. So Hinduism is like that. Of course, Christianity is also, and Islam is also. But Krishna consciousness, Vaishnava philosophy, is very deep. And I'm just giving you some little idea. Specific, specified, monism, Visheshta Advaita, etc. Yeah. So Ramanuja Acharya, it is said, was a partial incarnation, or we could even use the word incarnation, of Lakshman, or Sesha. So it seems that he was not a jiva. And he was an extremely powerful preacher in India. And from a very young age, practiced spiritual life, traveled throughout India. Ramanuja Acharya. So he refuted Sankaracharya's teachings. And Sankaracharya's teachings will more emphasize that everything is one. You understand? Everything is one. So Madhva and Ramanuja refuted this, that everything is one, but is also different. So this is called Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva, and this is what Lord Chaitanya taught. We are one with God, and yet we are different. And I'll give you the example that let's say you're sitting here on a marble floor or carpet from China. But let's just say there's a marble floor, and then there's a marble goblet. Now the marble goblet and the marble floor are one. Would you agree? They're one, both marble. But in the marble goblet, you can put water. And if you put water on the floor, it just dissipates. So in other words, it's one, and yet there is difference. So this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, and this is our philosophy. We are one, and yet we are different. Another example, that you may be wearing a gold ring or some gold ornaments. So that's a small piece of gold. But in the gold mine, big gold. So that it's the same, but difference in quantity. Small piece, right? 9 carat, made in China, mixed with other metals. And then big gold mine. Or another example, take a drop of water from the ocean, and the quality of that one drop is the same as the Indian Ocean, but not the same in size. I'm just giving you examples. So our philosophy is we're one with God, and yet we're different. And we are the eternal servants of Krishna, Lord Ram, Lord Nrsimhadev, Lord Vishnu. And shortly on Wednesday is, what is it? It's the day after, it's the day before Tuesday. Wednesday is Ram Navami. So we'll also celebrate that because Lord Ram, a very powerful incarnation of God. So, Lord Ram is the #1 Leela avatar of Krishna. Krishna is avatari, with an I at the end, avatari, the source of all avatars. Ramchandra is expansion or avatar, just like Nrsimhadev. There are certain things that Krishna can do that Ramchandra cannot. So there are 4 things Rupa Goswami mentions. So please tell me what they are, these 4 things, or even 1. Something Krishna can do that Ram doesn't. Venu Madhuya. Madhuya means the sweetness of playing the flute. So do we have any information of Ramchandra playing a flute? No. Rather, he has a bow. But we don't see Krishna in Vrindavan with a bow. But elsewhere maybe, but not in Dwarka. It's a different mood. It's called Vasudeva Krishna. But Vrindavan, it's Vrindavan Krishna. So Madhuya, Venu Madhuya. Venu means flute. So that's one. Another one? Huh? What's that? Oh, Lila. Yes. Lila Madhuya. Lila means pastimes. So he has wonderful pastimes, one of which is Rasa Lila, which is going on tonight. And we're going to miss out on it. Why are we going to miss out on it? Because we prefer to stay here in the material world, in Chatsworth, or Shlanga. And on a Saturday night, instead we go, where do we go to? Florida Road. See, I mean, I know. It's not that I don't know. Florida Road. Or Suncoast. Suncoast. We try the machines. So Krishna has the pastime, Lalila Madhuya. Now Nrsimhadev also has, can't say he doesn't, he jumps out of the pillar. It's a pastime. And some great devotees are absorbed in that. But the followers of Lord Chaitanya mainly worship Krishna in Vrindavan. But not all, but mainly. So we have Venu Madhuya, Lila Madhuya, and then another one. Rupa Madhuya. Rupa, he has a very beautiful form. Now Ramchandra also has beautiful form, and it's greenish in color. And sometimes you try to imagine the greenish color of Ramchandra. So how you do this, I came up with this idea myself. So you go to the Rath Yatra and you see the fireworks and you see the green one and how beautiful it is, green against the black. So Ramchandra is 1,000,000 times more than that. What do you think about that example? Pretty good. Huh? So greenish, Ramchandra. So Lila Madhuya, Krishna has all these pastimes, and then Prema Madhuya. He's surrounded by devotees who have great love for him. So Ramchandra also has, and who's the number one Ramchandra fan? Devotee. Sri Hanumanji. And he's in Dasharas. And definitely he has great unabiding love for Ramchandra. But it's not as intense. The love is not as intense as the cowherd boys at Sakyaras, or Mother Yasoda, or the gopis. We have the young gopis and we have the elderly gopis. The young gopis, it's Shringara Ras. They love Krishna as a handsome boy. And the elderly gopis, the elderly, like Mother Yasoda, it's parental, motherly. And motherly affection is very, very powerful, very strong. There's a saying, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the earth. It's a nice one for the lady advocates. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the earth. So the man, you've got to get in line. So Hanuman also had great devotion, and there are many devotees who follow Hanuman. So getting back to Ramanuja Acharya, he's a staunch devotee in Vaikuntha Bhav. That's his mood, Vaikuntha. And his worshipful Lord is Lakshmi Narayan. He worshipped Lakshmi Narayan. Not Sita Ram, although obviously he respected, and not Radha and Krishna. Lakshmi Narayan. four-handed Narayan. And Ramanuja Acharya appeared in Gaur Leela. He had a vision when he was in Jagannath Puri. Lord Jagannath appeared to him and said, in the future I will appear as someone called Gauranga, and I'll have a golden body, and you'll also appear. So he appeared Anantavipra, that was his name, Anantavipra. And he lived in a small thatched cottage on the side of the Ganges under a big banyan tree. And he was older, so he was like Lord Chaitanya's grandfather. So his name was Anantavipra, and this is an incarnation of Ramanuja Acharya. So all the eternal associates of Krishna, they also appear in Gaur Leela. And some of the associates of Ram appear in Gaur Leela, like Murari Gupta, he is Hanuman. And then we have some of the associates of Lord Narayan. And who can you think of? Lord Narayan associate in Gaur Leela, Srivas. Srivas. Every night Lord Chaitanya would go to his house for 1 year, and they would have kirtan. And that place is called Srivas Angam. And obviously you should visit that place. And another great devotee, our Jai and Vijay. I guess you could say they're a bit infamous. Jai and Vijay, gatekeepers in Vaikuntha. So in other words, in Vaikuntha mood. And Vaikuntha mood is awe and reverence. So Ramanuja Acharya, he was worshipping Lakshmi Narayan in awe and reverence. And then superior or more intense from the spiritual point of view, not from the material. From the material, from the spiritual point of view, it's all absolute. Above Vaikuntha, Ayodhya. Ayodhya mood. That's Hanuman, Sugriva. And then above Ayodhya, from the spiritual point of view, is Dwaka. It's still awe and reverence, Dwaka. It's still reverential. Krishna in Dwaka doesn't play a flute, doesn't wear a peacock feather, and he doesn't dance. It's reverential. But above Dwaka, Vrindavan. So, Vrindavan Krishna. And then in Vrindavan we have servants. So they're in Dasyaras. Like Madhukanta, he's a servant. And then more intense, Sakyaras, friendship. So can you give me the names of some cowherd boys? Madhu Mangal, someone likes Laddu. Sridama, Sudama, Dharma, Gobata. Prabhupada gave that name. He initiated one Afrikaans boy in 1977. And he gave him the name Gobata. He was 6.5 foot tall. Gobata. And Prabhupada gave him that name. I was there. And then Gobata, Afrikaans, he married this small Indian lady. And she was totally in charge. Although he was 6.5 foot tall, she'd go like this, and he would dance. But then, of course, cowherd boy, Gopata. Prabhupada initiated 4. The first 2 Indian devotees, male, 1977, Nanda Kumar Prabhu and Dhamavira. But the first Indian disciple of Prabhupada was Shamasundari, and she was from Benoni, and she got initiated in 1976. Yeah. So, cowherd boys. Other names, Ujjwala. Cowherd boy, Ujjwala. Another one, Subal. Devaprashta, another one. So I mentioned Vrindavan, so we have the Dasharas, Sakyaras, friendship, and then following in the footsteps of Mother Yasoda. So she's number one in Vatsalya Ras. The affection the mother has for the children. It's more intense, even in the material world, we see it's more intense than the father. Would you agree, ladies? When the young baby comes and it's crying at night, who gets up? Ma or Pa? Pa, he turns over and goes back to sleep. And he's snoring away very nicely. But Ma has to get up, and not just once, but many times. So therefore, in the spiritual world, Mother Yasoda's love is more intense than Nanda Maharaj. But Nanda Maharaj comes in number two. So we try to follow in the footsteps of these great Vrindavan devotees. So Ramanuja Acharya, he wasn't so much concerned, believe it or not, with Vrindavan. He was in Vaikuntha mood, and he worshipped Lakshmi Narayan. And he was a very serious and very empowered and very, very powerful worshipper in Vaikuntha Bhav. So we'll give you a few stories. So one time, Ramanuja Acharya, he was walking with 5 sannyasi disciples. He had thousands of disciples. And he was walking past a lake, a pond. And one of his disciples, offered him prasad. So he took some prasad, and then he threw the remnants into the pond. And then immediately the fish started to eat the remnants. And then in front of Ramanuja Acharya and the 5 sannyasis, the fish, they all left their bodies, they assumed 4-handed forms, and went to Vaikuntha. And the 5 sannyasis went, wow. He said, and the sannyasi said, we're doing so much austerity, and we're celibate, and we're this, and we're that. And we can't get that mercy, but these fish just went back to Vaikuntha. How is this? And Ramanuja Acharya said, the fish, or the animals, they only receive karma. They don't create. But you create. Human being creates. You can make karma, and you can be offensive. So immediately there's obstacle. You can be offensive. So we see this sometimes, parama aparad. We become a little offensive to the deity, or prasad, or to another devotee. So we get reaction for that. But the animals, they don't create karma. If a dog bites, if you're going out, the program is finished, and the dog bites you from bottle brush, does the dog get a reaction? It now is biting a Brahmin, you're a Vaishnava. It doesn't get a reaction. Because what do you expect dogs to do? Isn't it the business of dogs? To bite and to bark. But if a human being bites a dog, big trouble. First, he's going to get rabies. 150 people die every day from rabies. Did you know that? Rabies. So it's transferred by dogs mostly, but sometimes also monkeys. So if you bite, or human being does wrong activity, sinful, you get reaction. So this is how Ramanuja Acharya answered. So we should be careful. But then you may say, well, what did the fish do to get that special mercy? So mercy is causeless. What does that mean, causeless? No reason. No reason. So the fish just got the mercy. So that's one story. Now, I just read up on it. Oh, that's right. One of his favorite examples, Ramanuja Acharya, was that Vaishnavas should be like salt. So salt on the outside and a little bit underneath, and in the middle, it's the same. So a Vaishnava should be without duplicity. We should be without duplicity, without cunning behavior. We should be honest and straightforward. So he gave that example of salt. And then one of the sannyasis asked Ramanujacharya, you have many disciples, but you have sannyasi disciples and grihastha disciples. So who's the most advanced? So he was asked this. And Ramanuja Acharya, he performed a pastime to show. So in this particular pastime, Ramanuja Acharya had a grihastha disciple, husband and wife. And it was late at night, and they were sleeping. And Ramanuja Acharya went to their house, and from his lady disciple, he took all her ornaments in gold. You know, like they wear the gold earrings and this thing, what's it called? Yeah. So the wife didn't know what to do. But the husband said, no, this is our guru. And if he comes here and he's taking this gold, it's for a special reason. So ours is not the reason why. Ours is just to do and die. Let's just accept this. So then he told his wife, you should turn to one side so he can take all the gold from your ears and everything. So actually he chastised his wife and said, I don't know why, but he obviously has his reasons, and just give him whatever he wants. He's our guru, Ramanuja Acharya. He wants the gold, give it to him. So then a few days later, Ramanuja Acharya, he went to the mutt, the temple. And he went late at night, and the sannyasis were all sleeping. And he went through their clothes, and he stole them. You know, this garment, and this, and that. And he changed them all around. And he tore them. That's right, he tore them also. And then in the morning, they woke up, and all these sannyasis were very angry. Who stole my kurta? Who did this? Who did that? Why you stole this? So Ramanuja Acharya had this pastime to show that actually makes no difference. Grihastha can be as advanced, if not more advanced, than a sannyasi. Sannyasi, man, woman, grihastha, is simply the outer covering. That's all. And we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada, he spent most of his life as a what? Grihastha. And you may struggle to have 1 or 2 children. 5. He had 5. How many here have had 5 children? Not so many, right? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 13. That's like a football team, huh? 13. It's an unlucky number, they say, but anyhow. So, Grihastha sannyas really doesn't. The essence of spiritual life is attachment to Krishna. And I see many ladies have more attachment than men. Generally, ladies are more pious and spiritually inclined. Prabhupada has also said, he's also confirmed this. So Ramanuja Acharya, another example. This is a good one. Ramanuja Acharya, he used to say, we should be like chickens. Now immediately you're going to think of KFC. But not that chicken. The chicken, it goes around and pecks, and it takes food from the rubbish. Have you seen how it does it? It pecks at rubbish, somehow that gets fat. So we should also be able to take the essence out of rubbish. The essence. If you find gold, even in a dirty place, what are you going to do? Come on, you're from Durban, from Chatsworth. What are you going to do? You're going to take it and make sure no one else looks. Isn't it? So, Srila Ramanuja Acharya gave this example also, to be like the chicken. We can learn from the animals. We can learn from the tree. What can we learn from the tree? Tolerance. What can we learn from water? Psychological. What can we learn from water? Calmness. Carry on. Serenity. Surrender. Pure, isn't it? Water is pure. We do the archanam. So it's pure. We want to be pure. Then it's transparent. Generally, that's if the floods aren't coming to Durban. But you can see the bottom. I've seen in Cape Town, the Atlantic Ocean. You can see right to the bottom, 10 or 20 meters. You can see right to the bottom. So we should be transparent. What else? Refreshing, isn't it? You get tired and you take a little bit of water. Now it's the in thing. Wherever you go, you've got your bottle. Isn't it? You go to pavilion. You got your bottle. You're riding your bike. And you've got that little rucksack on the back with a tube coming over, just in case you're thirsty, And then they're wearing that little helmet, that helmet. I used to ride a bike for years. No one ever wore a helmet. But now you've got to wear a helmet. And then a matching top with tight bottoms and matching socks. It's all got to be in the one color. Right? And then you shoot down to Durban, to that walkway. So, we can learn from water, we can learn from fire. Fire is able to consume. So, devotional service, being a devotee, we can consume sinful activity. Even Lord Shiva, he consumed poison, but he wasn't poisoned because he's so advanced. So we can learn, these are Siksha gurus, and this is all described in the 11th canto. Siksha gurus. I think there's 24 or 28 Siksha gurus. Water, earth, the bee. The bee flies around, it's attracted by the nectar. So we want to be attracted by the nectar. And then you have the fly, which is attracted by the poison. So these are Siksha gurus. Also we can learn from these personalities. So Ramanuja Acharya, a great personality, and we pray to him today, appeared as Ananta Vipra in Gaur Leela, and Vashishta Advaita, purified monism. So he explained, he counted Sankaracharya's teachings. And Sankaracharya's teachings is everything is one. And this became what now we call Hinduism. So Ramanuja Acharya preached against this very strongly, and so did Madhvacharya, and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, obviously, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers, the 6 Goswamis, and then Srinivas Narottam, and then Bhaktivinoda, and then Bhaktisiddhanta. And then, of course, we know Bhaktisiddhanta wanted to preach all over the world. And then Prabhupada fulfilled that mission. And Prabhupada even came to South Africa. And now we are trying to practice, 50 years later, Krishna consciousness. So we must pray to all these acharyas. Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavatam, word for word, the conclusion is that one should be more serious about obtaining the mercy of a devotee than the mercy of the Lord himself. So this is Vaishnav. Vaishnav can carry this mercy. Like Prabhupada, his followers, his disciples, his grand disciples, they're able to carry this kripa, this mercy. And we can also obtain it, and we can also try to give it to others in the form of Mahaprasad, in the form of food for life, deity worship, book distribution, Rath Yatra festivals. We try to give it to others. Srila Ramanuja Acharya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gau Premanandi. So would you like to ask any questions or add anything? Any questions? So you remember Ramanuja Acharya, Vishishta Advaita, specified monism. And then we're in Madhva Acharya's line, and it is a Shuddha Advaita, pure dualism. And then Vishnu Swami, pure monism. And then Nimbaka Acharya, Dvaita Advaita. And then Lord Chaitanya, he took from all of these sampradayas and presented Achinta Bheda Bheda Tattva, which is the culmination of all of these philosophies in one. And we are trying to follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. And our ultimate goal is Vrindavan. That's our ultimate goal. Of the Goswamis, Srinivas, Narottam, Bhaktivinoda, etc. So, would you like to ask anything? Yes. Oh, we're going to give you the magic wand, the microphone. Oh, we have another question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the class. My question is, so the description of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda is that they arise simultaneously like the sun and the moon to drive away the ignorance of the material world. Does that simultaneous rising occur through is it manifest through the medium of the spiritual master?
Yes, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, like the sun and the moon, but they've arisen simultaneously, and that mercy of Lord Chaitanya can come through any of his followers. So as we mentioned, in this particular age, in the Kali Yuga, the Madhva Sampradaya seems to be or is actually more prominent. For instance, in South Africa, now we're all followers, we're in the Madhva. I don't know of any followers of Sri Sampradaya, Nimbaka or Vishnu Swami. But that's not always the case. Sometimes other sampradayas may become more prominent. But also we have to think, which sampradaya did Lord Chaitanya appear in? Which one? The Madhva, this one. So why this one and not the other ones? So that gives special prominence. But the point is that ISKCON and followers of Madhvacharya, they don't have monopoly on spreading love of God. There are other sampradayas. And we should be ready to offer respect to any genuine Vaishnava who's worshipping Lord Narayan, Vishnu, Nrsimhadev, Varaha, Balaram, Krishna, any bona fide Vaishnava we should bow down to. We don't have the exclusive rights for Krishna Prema. But definitely Prabhupada's personal preaching mission, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is the most powerful spiritual institution giving out samanya bhakti, general bhakti in the whole world. That's obvious. For example, Bhagavad Gita is in 63 languages. Now before it was in just Sanskrit. Prabhupada came, 63 languages. Not bad. So, very powerful. So, oh yeah, you had a question, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So you made the point that getting the mercy of the Vaishnava is more important. So my question is, and it's two-part straight. What if a devotee decides that they don't want to speak to you anymore, and you don't know why?
They decide what?
That they don't want to speak to you anymore.
Be what?
Speak to you, like communicate.
Community.
Communicate.
Oh, they don't want to communicate with others.
Anymore, and you don't know why. So that's the first part. And the second part is, if the devotee has low self-esteem and interprets things that you say in a negative way, then how do you also deal with that situation?
If a devotee interprets different things in a different way.
Yeah, due to them having low self-esteem.
And the first one is doesn't want to be in the community.
They don't want to talk to you anymore.
Oh, they don't want to talk to anyone. Well, there are people who are a little introspective. And what does introspective mean? Is introspective and what's the opposite? Introvert and extrovert. So an introvert, they feel threatened psychologically when they're with a lot of people. They feel weakened. They can't handle it. Like school holidays, gateway, Saturday morning. It's just too much. I remember one time I was at an airport, I think Doha or one of the airports. And it was a small airport and there was 10,000 people and it was just too much. Just too much energy. So the introvert feels threatened and they prefer to be by themselves. And the extrovert is exactly the opposite. They only get strength when they're with many others. So in spiritual life, we have to associate to a certain degree. But we can associate through reading and through the internet, but also to hear through the lips of Vaishnavas like Jayadvaita Maharaj and Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, to hear through lips. It's Bhaktivinoda Thakur said it's more powerful. He said, anyone who hears Hari Katha is blessed. But if you hear Hari Katha through the lips, that blessing comes quicker. In Bhakti Vinod. So, to communicate sometimes is difficult. This is the art of preaching. So we have to learn how to do this. Pray to Krishna. Hey, Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. So, anything else you'd like to add? So, thank you very much. I wanted to thank everyone also. I know a lot of you worked very hard for the Rath Yatra festival. And you're like maybe in the background, Food for Life or something. But everyone contributed and helped so much and made that festival a great success, Rath Yatra. So I wanted to, definitely you'll get Prabhupada's mercy, the mercy of Bhaktisiddhanta, Rupa and Raghunath. So thank you very much. Wednesday is Ram Navami. Where am I supposed to be? Here. So apparently I will appear. If you're lucky and you pay me enough, I'll show you my 4 hands. But if you pay me more, I'll show you my 8 hands. There was this Ativadi. Ativadi is one of the Sahajiya groups and very popular in Jagannath Puri. And there was one follower, he was the main Ativadi, and his name was Jagannath. And he came to Lord Chaitanya and he said, actually, I'm an incarnation of Radharani's glance. And then he said, actually, I've written some more chapters for the Bhagavatam. And then he said, to my devoted disciples, I've shown my 8 hands, because Lord Chaitanya showed 4 hands, Sadbhuj. So he became it's called Ativadi, and it's one of the Sahajiya groups. And Ativadi, it means I'm superior, I'm the best, I'm number 1. I'm better than my guru, Ativadi. So it's one of the Sahajiya groups that is mentioned. But now there's many hundreds of Sahajiya groups, but what can you expect? It's a Kali Yuga. So thank you all very much, and we should see you on the divine appearance of Ramchandra, Sita Ram, and Lakshmana. Can we have someone just conclude with a short kirtan or announcements?
Krishna, thank you, Guru Maharaj, for inviting us, and we are truly grateful that you impart this knowledge and give us so much of your time. You can now connect with Guru Maharaj on his online Zoom classes, ISKCON Connect. These classes usually happen on Wednesday and Saturday evenings. They are also streamed on YouTube and Facebook. Tomorrow's class will be, Bhagavatam class will be given by His Holiness Ramanuja Swami, and that piece will be, the speaker will be Derek Margaret. On Wednesday, the 11 o'clock program will be by His Holiness Ramanuja Swami, and the evening program will be by His Holiness Partha Sarathi Das Goswami. There is Prashadam, Light Prashadam served in the foyer, and thank you devotees for attending tonight. We do appreciate it, and safe travels on. Hare Krishna.
So tomorrow is an auspicious day because it's Vyasa Puja ceremony of His Holiness Ram Govinda Maharaj. And he's attending it at the Goshala in Thornton, is it? Thornton. What time? Midday? 7:30? Or in the morning? 10. 10. Of course, his disciples will be there, but also aspiring disciples. But anyone who wishes him well, they can also attend. Ram Govinda Maharaj is he has some very nice qualities, humility, and very staunch devotee and follower of Sanatana Dham, Vedic culture. And whenever we can, we should hear from him. Of course, I know your life is very busy with so many things, but we should try to make time. As I quoted Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that anyone who hears Hare Katha is blessed. But when you hear it from the lips, the blessing comes quicker, or sooner, if you like. So, Vapu is also important. If it wasn't important, Vapu, why would Srila Prabhupada come all the way to South Africa in 1975 at the height of apartheid? And he didn't even really know what would happen. He even said, actually, do you want me to wear this sannyas outfit or should I wear ordinary clothes? Because South Africa was a real question mark in those days. So why did Prabhupada come for 19 days? To give his association, to pray on behalf of the conditioned souls in South Africa, to boost. And there was only 6 or 7 of us. It wasn't like there was, this Radha Radhanath and New Jagannath Puri and Santon Temple. We had one rented house, and there was like 7 or 8 of us. That was it. But he came. So association is also like that. Sorry? Yeah, so Prabhupada came, and we always treasure that, meditate on that. And you should also, he recorded his talks. His talks are recorded. And you can play them. You should play them. And it's very nice to hear what Prabhupada said. They were driving him in Grey Street. And Pusta Krishna Swami pointed, the old Papalokara, 201 Grey Street. And Prabhupada is talking about the Indian community. He's asking questions. And so you can play these tapes, these recordings. Not so many. Prabhupada in South Africa. Very nice. So, yeah, please have a good time.
Take it off, too. Oh no, take it off.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.